I want to be an obese, disabled lesbian woman of mixed racial ethnicity. Alright, I've recorded this several times because I've been trying to think of the right way to just come out and say this. Just let everyone know, but I want to be an obese, disabled lesbian woman of mixed racial ethnicity for the jokes. For the jokes. So you're probably confused at this point, or you already formulate an opinion on what kind of asshole I am. And, well, I can't dispute the whole being an asshole part. Sometimes the shoe fits. For those of you that don't know, I am a heterosexual white male. Yeah, white male. Fortunately, there's no cock to put in front of me to test it, because I don't think you can be attracted to your own, because then that's just narcissism. And as a heterosexual white male, and one who, identifies as being a comedian, or, would at least like to be, certainly not professional, I think you need to at least make some money in order to be considered a professional in anything, and I've made no money. So as a, heterosexual white male, I don't have a huge pool of jokes to pull from. Now, what I mean by that is, based on the neutral state, people not knowing you telling jokes to uninitiated individuals, people who aren't familiar with your brand of humor or your tastes, or who don't share your similar perspectives, you have a pool of jokes that you can pull from. That is to say, not necessarily written specific jokes that's in a book, but jokes based on social expectations that you can tell. And as a heterosexual white male, I'm basically restricted to knock-knock jokes for the most part. Because as a heterosexual white male, there is a social perception in some extremes where I inhale oxygen and exhale farts, and my blood is caustic. I'm essentially like a slobby version of the alien from Aliens, or Alien. Alien Resurrection was really good. Everyone gives it way too much shit. And, because of that, it's kind of frustrating, because I'd like to consider myself a comedian. Like I said, I'm not professional, but I would like to get to a point in my life to where I could, make a living, support myself, writing and telling jokes, doing comedy. Oh, my God. Could not be more erect for that kind of idea. Just the thought that I could just do that and get paid for it. It's just... But I'm exceptionally limited. Being in relative unknown, even on YouTube, I have maybe a couple of videos that have gotten a lot of, a lot compared to the rest of my videos, views, and I certainly have nothing viral. Being in that unknown state, I need to follow the social contract, and the social contract states, basically, being a heterosexual white male, I'm responsible for all the evils in the world, even if I'm not actually perpetrating any of them, directly responsible for any of them, or actually support any of them. I'm racist without being racist, because I'm a white guy. I'm chauvinistic without being chauvinistic, or a rapist, because I'm a guy. I oppress gay people, because I'm heterosexual. Literally being any of those things immediately puts me on the southern side of neutral. Moving towards negative, moving towards complete negative, minus 100% versus, plus 100% or 0. And it's really frustrating because, like, if I were to get on stage and try and do Chris Rock's routine, let's be 100% honest. You see Casper, the friendly bearded ghost, get on stage and start spouting the N-word, even no matter how funny or correct the joke might be. Good God, 50 Cent getting shot 9 times be nothing in comparison to the number of bullet holes I'd be sporting that evening. I tell you, it's just wow. And most of those bullets would probably come from liberals who don't like guns. Not that I'm saying I identify as liberal or Democrat or Republican or any of that nonsense. But Chris Rock, yeah, he's funny, yes, no doubt about it. Movies, not so much. He gets up and he's allowed to do that, even if he wasn't as funny as he was, and didn't have the background that he did. He gets a pass to go up there and use the words he uses and make the jokes he makes because he's an African American gentleman. So there's a pass. Now, I'm not saying that special treatment or anything like that, but it's just part of the social background, the little subconscious part of society in the back of all of our heads, that says, oh, black guy gets to use N-word. That's just the way it is. It's kind of like, a person in a wheelchair gets to use the disabled bathroom. It's just the expectation. And so you see the guy with good legs go and use the disabled, you kind of go, hey, that's not so good. And that's what it applies to comedy. And that's, this is sort of the way it is. Now, imagine you take that black guy, make him a woman. Has access to feminist jokes now. He has access to jokes that men don't have access to normally. He can make as many period jokes. Well, I'm sorry. She can make as many period jokes as she wants. Now make her disabled. She can make jokes about cerebral palsy or mental retardation. Jokes regular people would not normally be able to make. Now, also make them obese. Yeah, fat. You got a feminine version of Ralphie May missing both their legs on stage. Number of jokes open to that individual. Astounding, staggering, approaching infinite. Now make them a lesbian. You've just reached critical mass. That is a Mobius strip. That is a Klein bottle. That is infinity unto itself in the form of comedy. That individual, that perfect storm of disabled, homosexual, fat, and multicultural, has access to the largest single joke pool that you could possibly imagine. Its depths could not be plumbed by the stoutest of lines. You could drop that from an aircraft carrier on a diamond monofilament line with over 4,000 feet and several other spools on the deck, and you'd never once reach bottom. The Marianas Trench would stand next to this well of comedy potential and blush in embarrassment at the sheer shallowness of it. Marianas Trench. And now, if you were to sit there and examine that logically, and not just dissect what I'm saying based on the fact that I'm a heterosexual white guy, because let's be honest, the moment I started bringing up things like race and other stuff like that, every single thing I said, with this face, he's gonna say something offensive, because he's a white guy. So it's a white guy say mean things. He's a white guy. Yeah, he's always got a beard. He's how many people has he raped? Oh, I bet it's a lot. But like I said, that's the thing of it. Heterosexual white guy, not a deep joke pool, but obese or overweight, disabled lesbian woman of mixed racial ethnicity. It's a really deep pool. Now, I would say this is probably the best time in history, though, for that conversion. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about gender dysmorphia. It's a real thing. People have it. It deserves respect. There's been enough reputable people, and there's been enough actual scientific data on it to not dismiss it. So that It's not something to be taken lightly. However, a white chick who likes to identify as being African American, on the other hand, though, well, that's just the right kind of fluff that's necessary for an insane asshole like me to be able to say that they identify as an obese or overweight, disabled lesbian woman of mixed racial ethnicity. From now on, for the sake of jokes, just call me Juba Wong. Yeah. Oh shit, if I really wanted to expand my pool, I could do like Sarah Jessica Parker and identify as a horse.